tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you fuck like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Yeah. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bag. You ain't getting.
On the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow. Can't help themselves. See me themselves. I wouldn't wanna be anybody else. I never used to think I'd be a magazine cover. They keep on trying to find new ways to push my buttons. I came out of the jungle where it rained and it thundered, but I bring the heat like the summer. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet, every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get off. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. Tired of complaining. I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
On the ready. Check, right 54. Right 54. Good. Snap.
On first down, Lawrence. Oh, he's going to take a shot. This is intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Okay. Set, ready? 60 outlaw. Here it comes, here it comes. Ready?
Here's Riddick, and he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it.
Here we go. 8, read. I'm going to run you over. Check 13.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. High throw, but he makes the catch.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Down. 18 Gator. Here we go. Back 6-6. Pull it high. Let's go.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, Charlie. Go.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Smooth. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Hey, high 7.
On 4th down, Lawrence. And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
For that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that. But you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's recon, 132 fighter. Get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 40, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Redskins scoop it. And some room to roam now. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Check 52's to Mike. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
Prescott from the gun. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player, not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Hey, Orbit.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That'll be caught at Steven Sims. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here I come again. 22 jet bomber. Hey, seam 6.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 21-0 our score after 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence, that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Redskins scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now Riddick. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Riddick with a carry. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
18 Gator. 54. You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me in your nightmare. Hey, Wahoo.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This is taken at the 3. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now this throw caught left side, and they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 28.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage.
At the 30-yard line.
Here go 46. That's a run. Hey, they're running it. 26. 52.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 14. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Last stop.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
52's the mic.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Hey, kill.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. They complete it to Hill. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They'll run forward with Pollard. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Now here's Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Taking it in from 4 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also...
It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Washington. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Got it.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on 2nd down, Lawrence eluding the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Hey.
Banjo. Mike 54.
General West.
You ain't got nothing.
You ain't got nothing.
Back to throw. Lawrence. The completion to Riddick. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100-1. And it's not looking good for him here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, Sam on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Check. Hey, Alpha. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
From the gun, Lawrence. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Mike's 56. Squeeze, double.
Prescott on first down. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check 43. Switch.
It's a keeper with Prescott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center that he's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
Mike 52. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that tight deep. Don't let him breathe.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Tony Pollard, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Delta. You ready? Mike 5-5.
Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And a throw right sideline is complete. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. Hey, exit. Me and you. It's just me and you. 55. Get it.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Lawrence airing it out deep for Smith. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First down, Washington.
Here we go, set. 90 Wolf. Right, 54. They're not ready for this, man. They're not. 80 weapons. Still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. He's coming. Big grip.
Now a handoff looking right.
Back.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first down, Bellamy. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And it's 3rd down.
Ready, set. 55. Check, 55. Mike.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Lawrence. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
At their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments.
And he coughed it up, and the Redskins scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
In your face. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Pilot, 64, weak.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Redskins. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
We're going to 53. Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Throwing on 2nd down. Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Troy Apke. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Throwing on 1st down. Lawrence. He gets it to Sims. Complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
To number 15. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check 56. Too little, Captain. Check 26.
Now Pollard. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. Going to run again here with Pollard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal.
Let's go, D. Big series.
Here's Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Reuben Foster picks it. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Here's 2nd and 8. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, Lawrence. Oh, he's going to go for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards the pickup there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first down throw for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Here we go, 47. Here we go. Bring it. 26.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They'll try and run for it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is Prescott. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And that is caught. And they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Extra point by Mara, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Washington, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.